Hello, my name is Andrew DeSerbo, and this is my goal-setting video. If you hear any background noise, that's my co-teacher with his class right outside the door, so I'll try and be able to talk over the yelling kids. So to get started, my long-term goal is to find a job in a more desirable area. I say that because currently I'm 24. I live probably in about an hour and a half north of New York City, and then my job is about another hour north of my house. Actually, it's an hour and 10. And the school district I work in is not a great school district. The communication isn't that great. There's a lot of gangs, a lot of violence going on, and just not a very desirable school district. I'm very happy to have a job, but for me, my personal goal is to either move closer to my house or maybe closer to the city or Long Island, where those are areas that, to me, they're just more desirable areas where I would want to live and where I would want to teach and generally find a place to eventually settle down in. Currently, I don't feel like the job that I'm at is going to be the job I'm going to be at my entire life. So for me, I have some couple of goals. These are my midterm goals so that I can reach my long-term goal of finding a district that is closer to my house, hopefully where a commute isn't that long, and hopefully a district where I feel like I can settle down in this district and stay here for quite a while, if not my whole career. My midterm goal is to first graduate with my master's degree, specifically with a 3.5 GPA or higher. That's just a personal thing. I like to put in the best amount of effort in everything I do, so I generally want to get a high grades when I'm doing it. But luckily for me, I started at Emporia State in the Health, Phys Ed, and Recreation program last summer, and I'm on pace to finish by the end of the year in December, so I'm pretty excited about that. So that's one of my midterm goals that I have. My second midterm goal kind of feeds off me getting my master's. As a teacher in New York, once you get your bachelor's degree, you have to pass the New York State test and you get your initial teaching certification, which I have, which is what I'm teaching with right now. And then you have 5 years to get your master's, and with your master's you get your professional teaching certification. So that's my second midterm goal, is that once I get my master's degree is to apply for my professional certification and then hopefully get that, and I'll be able to continue to move on with my long-term goal. Another big midterm goal of mine is to take and pass the New York State Health Certification Test. Currently, I'm certified in physical education, and just from talking to other teachers and through my own experience, I understand that having 2 certifications definitely boosts your credibility. It boosts your resume, and people are more likely to take you for an interview. So with the master's program I'm in now, Health, Phys Ed, and Recreation, I'm hoping to get enough health credits to be able to take the health certification test, and if I pass, then I will be able to become dual certified, which would enhance my resume by having both Phys Ed and health certifications. My next midterm goal is another year or two, to stay another year or two at my current job by building experience. Currently, I'm in my first year right now, and like I said, I still need to get my master's degree. I still need to get certified in health. So in that case, I want to get another year or two of teaching experience under my belt. That way, it'll just, again, more things to make me a more marketable candidate for applying for a job in an area that I would want to work in. So hopefully I'll finish out this year and maybe work another year or two, and in that time it leads me to my next midterm goal, which is to land at least 5 interviews per year. I'm not necessarily expecting to get a job out of these 5 interviews, but more or less just to keep my experience with interviews going, rather than just not go to any interviews and kind of forget how not that I would forget how it works, but just it's a sense of comfortability and knowing, all right, like I've been doing this before, I have experience, and just a personal thing that would make me more comfortable. So again, I'm just trying to get 5 interviews per year, just to get that experience in interviews, and hopefully something more comes out of that. My short-term goals include are pretty general. My first one is to stay on top of grad school, work every single week. something I already do, but just to continue doing that so I can pass and graduate on time. So I wrote down just a little bit each day, more specifically to start and or finish an assignment per day. So I try not to go a day without doing any kind of work. If I can get if I can get an assignment started or finished in a day, that's awesome for me. Again, I'm just maybe working ahead, but just staying on top of my work in general. This will lead to my second midterm goal of receiving a professional teaching certification. So again, my master's will lead to me being able to get my professional teaching certification, so I want to be able to do that. My next short-term goal is to buy a New York State health exam book. And that's one short-term goal, and other short-term goals to go with that include studying 3 times a week, take 1 practice test per week, and to schedule a test date. That way, again, I'm just staying on top of something that I need to get done, like getting my dual certification, and I want to make sure I'm prepared for the exam. So I figure studying a couple times a week while balancing grad school and being able to take 1 practice test a week, which I don't think is asking myself of too much, to hopefully, again, get some experience with the test and gain the necessary knowledge to be able to pass the test at a future date. Next, I have to come to work every day on time, ready to work. Again, pretty general, pretty self-explanatory, but again, it's important. I want to be diligent. I want to make a good name for myself in case I need any references for a job that I'm going to be looking for in the future. I want them to know that I was a good worker, a responsible worker. Part of that, I want to reflect on each day, something I don't do, but I want to start by just finding 1 positive and 1 thing I can work on every day, because this will help me grow as a teacher with my own experiences. Again, just being able to reflect and being able to change things is always going to help me grow as a teacher and a professional, so I want to be able to do that, as well as continue to boost my professional development, such as taking workshops and doing what I need to do for that. Again, just going off making me more marketable, and then also feeding off of that is getting involved in extracurricular activities. I'm a phys ed teacher, so I'm already coaching sports. I currently coach tennis. I've coached volleyball and softball in the past, so I expect that they'll continue to ask me to coach various sports. And again, this is all stuff that I can put on my resume that's going to look good for me in the general long-term goal of finding a job in a more desirable area. And the last couple of points that I made for my short-term goals were to check for and apply for jobs on a weekly basis, right? Jobs are always coming up, and there's a website for New York State where, jobs are always posted, so I want to be able to at least check that 2 times a week. I don't expect a ton of jobs to always be posted, but just being on top of it, and, obviously if I see a job, and especially an area I like, I'd like to apply for those jobs, and part of my short-term goals are to follow up on my applied jobs. Secondly, another short-term goal I have based under checking for and applying for jobs is to update my cover letter, my resume, and my references, because as I continue to get experience teaching and coaching and doing workshops, these are all great things to put on your resume, so I got to make sure I keep that updated so that I don't have anything missing when I do apply for jobs. And again, with references too, I want to make sure I still have references, people that I can count on, people that have seen me work, administrators and teachers, and hopefully will be able to back me up and be a good reference. All part of coming to work every single day and being responsible and a diligent worker. So that is my long-term goal with my midterm and short-term goals. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I look forward to watching everyone else's. Thank you.